All right, so welcome to another rapid fire business story of the week. This is part of our rapid fire series, and today we have an incredible guest with us, someone who's achieved extraordinary success and is here to share their unique business journey with you. We're excited to hear their insights, so let's welcome them to the show. All right, so as this is our rapid fire series, we've got 1 minute or less to answer each question. So, in a minute or less, give us the elevator pitch to your story and your life. Go.
Hi everyone, so my name is Ayesha and I run my business called Aesthetics Art. I'm an artist and I create custom artworks for people. I sell prints of my art which focuses on realism portraiture drawings. I also run drawing workshops for people who want to develop their skills in realism art and who want just a safe space to practice their art. I also create digital resources for other artists who want to monetize their art. And I started all of this when I was 17, so I was at school and I really just loved art and I wanted to spread the joy that art gives me to others. I knew that art was amazing for mental health and it really helped my mental health, so I wanted to be able to spread that to others. So the aim of my business is to basically spread joy, promote well-being and basically just give people inspiration, whether that is through giving them a custom artwork that is special and timeless to them, or whether it's through helping them learn how to develop their own skills or turn their own skills into a business as well. I just want to be able to inspire people and basically just help people use art for well-being and for just give them all the joy that it gave me basically.
So that's fascinating, and I would love to dig a little bit deeper. So tell us a bit more about what you're working on today that you're most passionate about and believe will have the biggest impact.
So at the moment, I've started to create digital resources for other artists who want to turn their art into a business. Before doing this, I was just creating art for people through commissions and through my prints. But I realised that I've come a long way from where I started and I want to be able to help other artists who are very lost and they don't know how to monetize their own work. I realised I wanted to start creating resources for those kinds of people to help show them what's possible. So I've just released my first ever ebook and workbook called Art Commissions 101, which is a comprehensive beginner's guide giving you everything you need to start your own art commissions business, just the way I did. It has step-by-step guidance, practical worksheets helping you put everything that you've just learned into practice straight away, as well as digital downloads and templates all ready to go, helping you sort out like the business side of your art, because as an artist I know it is so hard sometimes to focus on the business side when all you want to do is actually create art. So Art Commissions 101 is supposed to take away all of the sort of questioning and all the like just not knowing how to start, and it's your tool to help you start basically with everything you need to know, just how I wish I had when I started out, because I was fully self-taught and it took me a while to get to where I am today. So I want to help fast track other people to where they want to be.
So this next question is one that every entrepreneur has dealt with. Tell us about a time where you failed. We often say failure is the first step to success. So think about a time where you failed in the past. What happened? What did you learn from it?
I'd say a time in the past where I failed. I don't really like to use the word failure myself because I feel like everything is definitely a learning block. But not my first ever store. I've done quite a few market stalls, but my first ever high priced one, I spent about £300 for a 2-day stall in Milton Keynes, UK. I spent £300 on the store itself. I spent more money getting the materials and things that I needed to set up, and then when I got there and I did the 2 days, I literally made about 2 or 3 sales. I completely made such a big loss at that market stall, which at the time it was really like hard hitting, and obviously it made me feel very disappointed and like a failure. But I realized, like, with art and with business in general, you're not always going to find your target audience, and sometimes you just have to roll with the punches, really. Like, obviously I made a loss in money there, but on the bright side, I met a lot of great people. I got my name out there more. I had more sign-ups to my email. So even though it was a financial loss, it was a big benefit in loads of different ways. So I feel like yeah, even sometimes as a business owner, you obviously will make financial losses, which isn't fun, but there's always something to gain, whether that will be more exposure, more conversations, or even just more confidence, because that still definitely gave me the confidence to keep doing more. And yeah, I'd say that.
That's fascinating. That's fascinating. And we're definitely going to have you back on the show to dive deeper into each of these questions. But for now, one thing that I often say is, and I tell this to my employees and the people who work with me and for me all the time, is that when a tree falls in the forest, if nobody hears it, did that tree actually fall? This brings me to this next question. How do you make sure that all of these amazing projects that you're involved in get noticed? What marketing and advertising methods have worked best for you? You've got a minute. Let's go.
So I have a background in social media marketing. So I do social media marketing freelance as well. So I do have a background in that, and I always think that social media is the best place to market. I use platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. They're my three top platforms. It's just about staying consistent. I'm constantly posting on there, whether it be educational content, entertainment, inspiring content. I believe social media is a great tool because obviously you can meet people, you can connect with people all around the world, and the possibilities of reach are amazing on there. So I definitely champion social media as one of the best places, and especially with my commissions. Pretty much 95% of my sales have come through social media or marketplaces online. Other ways that I like to market is through my email list. Building an email list is so important. So when I go to art stalls and networking events, I always make sure to get people's emails and get them to sign up to my newsletter. Because yeah, email is such a good way to also get the word out. And it's one of the highest marketing conversions, marketing tools for conversions. So I love using email. And then just generally word of mouth. As I said, a lot of what I do is very people based. It's working with people, whether that be through commissions or workshops or giving them resources to turn their art into a business. I'm very people focused, so I need to make sure I'm speaking to people. So I make sure to go to networking events and market stalls and connect with people. And yeah, just keep showing up, keep showing what it is you're doing, because if you're not showing people and you're not putting it out there, no one's just going to find you. You need to be constantly putting it out there. So that's what I do.
That was so awesome. We're definitely going to dive deeper into this on a later show. And as we approach our last question, before we ask people how people can get a hold of you, how people can reach you, learn more about the work that you're doing in your company, and we will include all that information in the show notes, what I wanted to ask you is, what is one piece of advice that you would offer to your younger self, to our audience, and to somebody, especially somebody who's just starting out in the same niche that you're in, but just doesn't know how to start or get going? Amazing stuff. We're going to have to thank our guest today.
Oh, I would definitely say a big piece of advice I have would be to just start. I know it sounds easier said than done, but I spent a lot of time, especially at school when I was a teenager. I used to love art, but I was embarrassed of it. Which now I'm not embarrassed of it at all, but at the time I was embarrassed for people to know. I didn't want my classmates to know or anything like that, so I put off on putting my stuff online and getting myself out there for a long time. Even when I started my business at 17, I didn't want people from school to know, so I was very embarrassed of it. But I just want you to know that you do not have to be embarrassed. Something that is your passion it's amazing, and you deserve to put it out there, and you deserve to have people see it. And there's always going to be negativity, there's always going to be people that want to hold you down, keep you down. But you have one life to live, it's your life, you've got to follow your passions. So my advice would be to just start. Don't wait for perfection, because I've done that a lot, where I'll wait for something to be perfect before I start it. You just have to start, because when you start, that is the beginning of growth. Once you've started, you will see yourself grow more than you ever known that you could. Looking back at when I was 17, I've come such a long way, and if I never started, if I never listed my first commission, if I never posted on Instagram, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I would say, just start, believe in yourself, even if no one believes in you yet. Believe in yourself, because that's all you need to get started, and just keep going when it gets tough. I know it's easier said than done, But just trust me, if you just start and you just try to block out the voices of anyone that is giving you doubts or giving you negativity, you just need to listen to your heart. If this is what you love to do, then start, because you don't want to wait and for years and years and years to pass by and you regret it. So get started.
Today for being a guest on Business Story of the Week. And before we cut out on this episode, I wanted to ask you, how can people get a hold of you? How can people learn more about what you're doing? And how do people engage with you? And we will transcribe this and put it in the show notes for everybody to find.
So you can get in touch with me via my website, which is aestheticsart.co.uk. I also have social media, so on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I am Aesthetics. The spelling is aye.stheetics. So I have the same username across all accounts, and my email is aestheticsart@outlook.com, which you can also find on my website. On my Instagram and my social medias, I post a lot of obviously content of my art, but I also post tips for anyone else who wants to start their own art business. So if you want to find out a bit more about that, then make sure to go check out my social medias. And like I said, I do have an ebook and workbook that has just come out last month, and I'm giving away the first chapter for free. So if you just head to my website, you will find all the information on that there. And you can also sign up to my newsletter via my website as well, to make sure that you can stay in touch with everything I'm doing and learn a bit more about me. And I hope to hear from some of you guys.
All right, amazing. So you did it. Thank you for being a guest on the show today. Let me tell you what you can expect next. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all this, we're going to cut it into an episode. It will go on the Business Story of the Week page. So make sure you go on Apple Podcasts, review us, like us, go on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to us on Spotify. And this will come out in the next 30 days or so, depending on our workload and how many shows we have. We have had a lot of interest in the show lately, so we may be a little backed up, but the show will get out. In the meanwhile, we will send you clips that feel free to share on social. Also, the full episode, feel free to share any way that you like. The content is yours to share and put out there. We just ask that you mark us and tag us in the notes if you do. So in the copy, put hashtag Business Story of the Week. Link back to us. We would appreciate that. And if you think that you might be interested in doing more podcasts, live ones and studio ones, Zoom ones, Riverside ones, there's a whole host of shows that likely, if you did this one and succeeded, you would probably be really great at, and a great way of getting your message out. So your host will talk to you about potentially getting you booked on a strategy call for a Business Story of the Week's sister company, Podcast Cola, or becoming a YouTube influencer through Viral Mirage. Thanks again for being a part of this. Looking forward to working with you.